Hi, Gemini. My name's Ashley with Divine Vibes Tarot, here to give you your divine vibes for January 2025. I've been away. Sorry, my hair is like a little angry this morning. I've been away for a little while, dealing with some things, but I'm back with lots of messages, and I'm excited to start off the new year with you. First card out is your third chakra, so your solar plexus, owning your power. The color yellow is significant. Ooh. Next card is hostilities. You may be encountering some challenges. Specifically could be around your finances, but let's get some more oracle cards. There's something here about you needing to put on some armor. That could be physical, right? That'd be weird. But it could also be just like emotional armor, needing to, yeah, at the bottom of the deck is contracts. Oh, good. So needing to put on some spiritual armor for a situation. You also have caring connections, door to spirit. I really like that card. Cornucopia and temple path. So really good cards here. You just have that one card with the hostilities, which is, you know, not a big deal, not a huge deal. Nothing we can't get around, right? All right. So this is a new, I think this is the closing out of a cycle around you owning your power, having to really stand up for yourself. Messages for Gemini. White feathers could be significant to you. Maybe orange feathers also. Messages for Gemini. There we go. Have you been stubborn around something, Gemini? Are you holding on too tightly? Because what's interesting about this card is he's holding the pentacle essentially in front of his heart and his solar plexus. So similar energy to this card, right? Are you being stubborn? I feel like you're not wanting to share something, you're not wanting to give up something. I do think this is rooted in some kind of fear, but let's get some more information. I see this as definitely around your ego, definitely around wanting people to see you a certain way, wanting people to see an image of you in a certain light. Messages for Gemini around this third chakra. Could have to do with your home. I feel like someone is shining a light on something within your energy that maybe you don't want to see. Or it could be that someone is showing you which way to go, bringing you some clarity. Someone could be pointing you in the right direction to move out of that stubborn energy into something more flowing, like give and take, back and forth. I'm seeing a lot of summer energy, so like Virgo, Leo energy. So it could have been something that started in the summertime that you celebrated, maybe prematurely. But there needs to be some final touches, some revisiting of this situation. And anytime you're feeling stuck, yeah. Anytime you're feeling stuck, just make sure that you're spending some time with yourself, prioritizing your self-care. Focus heavy on finances. So this could be something where like you're supposed to pay child support, or you are supposed to, you know, like give in like a legal situation. And you are so bent on keeping, it's something about money. The argument could not even be about money. It could be about something else, but you feel like it's going to affect your money, and you so strongly do not want to give up your money that you are maintaining this conflict, thinking it's going to keep your finances more secure. Not a fan of this energy. It's almost like you're getting satisfaction out of the argument. I feel like the person on the other end of this likely has their heart open, and with that they're creating options. So the longer you hold this conflict, the more options the other side is getting. It may not look like they're moving at all, but it's like they're building in their strength. Maybe that's why hostilities is here. Any other messages for solar plexus for Gemini in January? Ooh. Yeah, I think you might just be blocking your own blessings by maintaining this. Getting that when it rains, it pours kind of energy. All right, let's move away from that. Let's go to hostilities. What are these hostilities? Needing to put on, like I said, that spiritual armor for Gemini. But there is like an exit plan. I'm seeing an exit plan. You can run in the other direction. You can just run away. You don't have to fight. You can save your energy because there's a truth coming that I think is going to blow this whole thing out of the water. Yeah. Tower, I was right. I have earth and water energy here. Wow. With justice at the bottom of the deck. So the scales are going to be balanced. whether you make them balanced or not, you can let go of this conflict. You don't need to participate in it. You don't need to give it anything of yours, because it's going to balance. It will balance. It might be somewhat of an ego death for you. But eventually, these people in this card have to come back down to reality. There's internal fighting here. There's external conflict. And as determined as you are, there is some deceptive energy tied up to you. So my suggestion is to put those swords down. You don't need to fight because you're hurt. And while you're fighting, while you're putting active energy into this conflict, into this argument, you're missing out on some choices. You're not going to see these choices because you're so hurt. And you think that by going into the past and dredging up all this stuff, that it's going to bring you happiness. And it's just not. You're at some point going to have to let this go. But there is going to be like a reality check that shows up in January to move that energy out of your sphere. Let's clarify this Caring Connections card. Maybe some changes in your closest relationships, specifically romantic relationships. Wow. Nice. So you have the Chariot, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Empress. So feeling really established, fertile, possibly children around, picking up speed when it comes to your stability. I see someone wise advising you. So maybe if you are, you know, in therapy or visiting with like a grandparent or an older parent or something, I just see someone giving you advice. Because there's an energy around you that moves quickly, which, you know, that could be you. You could be making some hasty decisions. Clarify for Gemini. Oops. Like wanting to, wow. The High Priestess and the Hierophant came out together with the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. If it'll focus. Ah, frustrating. So it's almost like you have this established energy. Maybe you live together or you are in a committed relationship, and then suddenly it's like we need to move this to the next level. Like we need to get engaged, or we need to live together, or we need to have children. Like really wanting to deepen this connection, which is beautiful. And you get crazy. So you have strong fire energy showing up here. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But now you have the Emperor and the Empress showing up. This Emperor, like, knows that the Empress is his happily ever after, and he's very passionate, but he's also, like, looking through some grief. There could be something that this Emperor needs to deal with, and not gender specific, just like the masculine form, more masculine energy, which we all have both, you know. Definitely feeling like passionate and wanting to, you know, get things done, but looking right into some grief, some regret maybe from the past that needs to be healed. And it's just not moving in the way that he would hope. Could be about a relationship in the past and feeling like he was taken advantage of or couldn't open his heart fully. You know what I say to that? No offense, but who cares? It's time to grow up. The rest of us have to. It might take some time, but they can do it, whoever they are. I assume it's the other energy, but it could be you. And I hate to say it like grow up, like just do it. Just get on with it. But I am so sick of men specifically dictating how women need to behave. Like, why is it that if you go on Facebook or Instagram or wherever and you look through reels, eventually you will come across a reel that says something like, how to know if he likes you, 10 ways to keep a man's attention. Like, what? What? Listen, for too long, women have had to alter their behavior for a freaking man or whatever. And it is so exhausting. Like, men need to step up. Women do way too much work. We do way too much. We have the children. We have the careers. We're now like essentially perfectly capable on our own. We don't even need you to have a baby. We can go to a sperm bank. Like, men need to step up. You need to actually work and get off of your mother's couch or whatever. I once had a man tell me that he owned a house and he was letting his mother live with him. It was his mother's house. Some men are embarrassing themselves. Some men are embarrassing themselves. For Door to Spirit, another 5 card. So carrying connections, the number of the card is 14. Door to Spirit is 32. Both of those numbers deduce to the number 5, so change it. What's crazy about that is for carrying connections, we talked about like having this like High Priestess, Hierophant energy, like really deepening this connection. Like that's a really potent combination, those 2 cards. For Door to Spirit, the first card that came out is the 2 of Cups. So definitely like experiencing some really faded connections. That's what I'm getting with this, like spiritual partners, people coming. And it could also be that someone who was a very strong partner or a good friend or family member, there could be something that ends also. All right, let's see here. Confirmation sneeze. So it's either something is ending or something has ended in the past. that forced you to sort of like move forward towards a new wish, a new direction. Like I once had relationship where I thought like we were going to get married, I was going to have a baby, I was going to stay home, we were going to have a farm, you know, all those things. And then we were married, the baby, like all the things were lining up, and then he just like disappeared. And it changed the trajectory of my wishes, my dreams, where I was going to go, because I was no longer going to be able to have that farm and that life and be a stay-at-home mom and all that stuff. And I feel like this is what's showing up right here. It's like something ended in the past or could be ending currently, and it sort of forces you to change your dreams about the future, what you're attracted to, what makes you thrive. And it's like one of those blessings in disguise, right? It's one of those like, oh, I can't believe this ended, but wow, I never considered this path. I never thought I would enjoy this experience so much. So it's as challenging as it can be, it's definitely putting you in touch with your higher power, putting you in touch with source, putting you in touch with things you wouldn't have considered before because you weren't desperate enough to reach for them. I was just watching Jadina. I talked about her in another video. She's fantastic. If you ever watch her on YouTube, she's fantastic. And she was talking about what was she talking about? Being in touch with source. I don't remember. Wow. Anyway, if it comes back to me, I will. But like, oh, how to be grateful for pain and challenges. And honestly, like, I don't think we will experience pain if we're not on earth. And I know some people follow that like spiritual philosophy and some people don't. But for me personally, I believe that like we choose our path, we choose our life, we choose the people who we come in contact with. Those are our soul connections, right? We're supposed to learn from them. And this person, you may have agreed to have them leave you, have them break your heart, have them, you know, be gone from your life so that you could learn this lesson of getting in touch with this area of your life you didn't expect, or getting in touch with higher power, or right? And the card is door to spirit. So changing how you access source. And I see you not wanting to do it initially because you feel established, you feel like you have everything you need, but this death of the ego is going to help you rebuild in a new way, having a new experience. Like the death card is here. Scorpio is here because Scorpio is all about death and rebirth. This is your opportunity to rebuild, to rebirth. And the next card that you have is cornucopia, and next to that is the temple path. So these are all really beautiful energies coming through for you, even if in the past they were hard, or if right now they're challenging for you. Remember that at some point you'll be able to look back and say, oh, that's why that happened, or I'm kind of grateful for that situation because I got to experience a depth of emotion that I never thought was possible, or I got to experience a new love which I wouldn't have experienced because I was in this love, or I got to experience, you know, you get what I'm saying, right? Like things you would never have considered, things you would never have thought were on your radar are now suddenly on your radar. After my ex-husband left, I went back to school. I now have a degree to do something that I only dreamed of doing when I was little. Like, it brought me to my knees, but it also brought me so close to my path that, like, I can't be mad about it. For cornucopia, you get the Hermit, the Hierophant, the Death card, Seven of Pentacles, the Devil, the Hangman, the King of Cups, with the Empress and Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is you looking for meaning in an ending to something. Like, where is the meaning? When am I going to see that result? When am I going to feel that relief? And it's showing up as like toxic or whatever to think that way, but I don't want you to think about it like that. I want you to think about it like you can only take one step at a time, okay? So if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is so heavy, I don't know how to process that, be in that energy. There's a gentleman named Matt Kahn who does like spiritual teachings online. And I just remember watching one of his videos where he talked about like, if you're feeling sad, be sadness. If you're feeling angry, be anger. Like allow your body to like fully feel into those emotions. Because I feel like whatever had to go had a toxic energy to it. And you kept looking at it like, is this working out? Is this everything it is? And so I think looking back on it, it's easy for you to be like in this familiar energy of, oh, this was so great. This was, you know, this was it. When you're grieving that, you can look at it and you can say like, this was everything I wanted. In the past, this is everything I needed. But in reality, when you were in it, it wasn't. And you knew it. You knew that this wasn't going to last forever. You knew that this couldn't go on forever because there was a toxic element to it, whether that be codependency or addiction, or you were in addiction and you just attached to this. I see all kinds of things. It held you back. This energy held you back. And you needed it to end so you could spring forward. Now you can spring forward. Now you can move on and gain enlightenment around. So I see you in the center of this. And I see this toxic energy around you like being wiped out. Okay. And then around that is like another sphere of understanding of like, I needed this to end so that I could find myself. And then another sphere around that of I found myself. So you just have to get through those layers, and that's your expansion. Like if you start from the center of you being like, is this working out? Is this doing well? Then you're in that grief of like, oh my God, I've lost this. Oh my God, this is so toxic. Oh my God, this is so hard. I'm in such a dark place. To, oh, I can start to see the light. I can start to, you know, feel spirit's nudges. I can see those little synchronicities that are pointing me in the right direction to, oh, now I can share with other people my experience. Now I can share with other people, even though it's challenging, you're going to get through it and you're going to feel better than you ever did before. $1111 is significant. All right. Temple path. This is talking about path to enlightenment, path to divinity. I see spirit guides all around you. Be looking for those synchronicities. Be looking for things that Spirit is touching for you. You're going to get messages physically, intuitively, that are going to bring you a lot of clarity around past behaviors, past patterns, specifically when it concerns relationships and yourself. How you treat yourself, how you care for yourself, what you like, what you don't like. 444 is significant. Excuse me, confirmation birth. When you see 444, know that your angels, your spirit guides are around you, are with you. Your spirit guides can't help you unless you ask for their help. So if you're in a hard place, if you're in a challenging place, ask your spirit guides for help. 222 is also significant. So 222, 444, 1111. It's almost like you're afraid to heal this because you feel like if you let this go, you're doing a disservice to yourself or to the other energy involved or to the love that you had. I know that feeling. There's a lot of overthinking here. And it's like, I see you being like, if I think about this enough, it'll make sense. I'll get some clarity. Try to get into your body. Try to go for a walk outside. Here, it's freezing, so it'll really wake you up. Maybe then you'll get clarity. Messages for Gemini on Temple Path, January 2025. Why are they guarded against this healing? Clarify the Four of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Yeah. You may be up against some very deeply ingrained beliefs within yourself that you've held for so long that you like, to shatter those beliefs is really hard. It's like running into a brick wall with your physical body and just trying to knock it over, but you're running into a brick wall, so it hurts and you just can't knock it over. Right? I would encourage you to reach out to people. Because I see you wavering in your beliefs. Like, maybe it was okay. Maybe I should wait for that same thing to show up, or something that looks like it. Maybe that is what I wanted. But you have to the reality of this situation is going to expose itself. And you have to be willing to sit with that energy. I feel like I'm talking to myself at this time too. Try not to distract yourself too much with socializing, I feel like you're putting yourself in situations that you don't necessarily want to be a part of just to get away from this energy that you're feeling. So I would say it's okay to like allow this energy to consume you. I don't know why this is coming up, but I'm just gonna say it. I've never used mushrooms, but I remember a friend of mine saying when we were in high school, she was like, oh, if you want to try them, you should watch me do it first. And I remember we prepped, right? Like she wanted like food. We were going to watch a movie. We were going to be with a few other friends. And she was like, you just watch. And if it's still something you're interested in, then then you'll know what the experience is kind of like, at least from the outside. And she was just streaming tears the entire time. And that could have been her feeling deep love, deep gratitude. But I think there was some like mix of sadness. Point of the story is, one, I never wanted to try mushrooms after that. And two, we like prepped for that moment. So like if you know you're going to be sad, or if you know that you have some sad feelings lingering, maybe prep for those moments, right? Like if you know you're going to be home alone, or you know you have some feelings that need to be dealt with, go get yourself a candle. Go get yourself like a snack that you really want. Go get yourself a new journal. Get yourself a nice pen. Get yourself cozy pajamas. Like get your nails done. Like do all the things and whatever you do, like do your things so that you're like, I'm going to allow this sadness to come. I'm allowing this grief to come through. This is the moment. Like maybe you like to paint, or maybe you like to draw, or listen to music. Like create a cocoon for yourself so that all that energy can come out and you don't have to restrict it. Allow yourself to sink into those moments, because sometimes we just need to feel it. We just need to be in it. And I think that will allow some of this truth to penetrate your energy and allow you to heal more. Well, Gemini, that was a little longer than I thought it would be, but I'm so glad I got to spend this time with you. I am sending you all well wishes for the new year, and it's going to be a good time. But until next time, I will see you soon.